What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got some big news about OP-12. And look, when I say we've got some big news about OP-12, I mean we've got some big news about OP-12. What have we got about OP-12? I hear you ask. Well, wonderful news. We've got the alt art leaders. And let's start with Koala. I'm saying this straight off the bat. These are my favourite alt art leaders. In fact, this Koala is my single favourite alternate art leader that we have had in the game so far. Yes, I am a very excitable man who is prone to... well, I would say hyperbole, but I always mean what I say. I'm always very sincere in what I say. I'm just very excitable and love this game a lot. But I've long told you, and go back through the videos, it's all there, the OP-4 style leaders, like Vivi and Rebecca, they have been my favourite style of alt art leader so far. This is them, but better. Now, I will say this is a little curious for me, because we've clearly got Nico Robin on the artwork with Koala, and look, I know that Koala and Nico Robin do have a relationship, and I'm aware that during the time skip, Nico Robin basically went to chill out with Koala. I'm aware of this, but it still seems a little bit weird. I don't know, the whole master and disciple thing seems to be falling down a little bit on this artwork. That's the only criticism I have. I have told you that I am in love with this leader mechanically, and now I think we've got the best alternate art of any leader we've seen. The leader, remember, says that when Koala, the leader, is attacking your opponent's leader, if you've got 2 or more 8 cost or higher characters, draw a card, and then once per turn, when your opponent would be playing either a character with an original cost of 8 or more, or would be playing a character through an effect, you can make them take the top card of their life into their hand. Which is clearly a ridiculous skill, and that's the bonus. That's the bonus we've got going on here, because really you're drawing a card every turn. I love this, huge fan. And while we're here, we've also got a new Nico Robin to go along with this. We got 6 cost, 7,000 power. But if your leader is either Koala or Monkey to Luffy, you gain blocker and +3 cost. Now this is interesting. This is not if your leader is a revolutionary army. This is specifically Koala. And this seems to really represent that Nico Robin likes Koala more so than the revolutionary armies generally. Which, I love that little nod. And of course, blocker is good. We want blockers for our Revolutionary Army deck. And the +3 cost is very important here because we need 8 cost characters. We need 2 of them to activate Koala's draw skill. Well, this is a 6 cost, but because you're playing Koala, it's a 9 cost. Job's a good un. Oh, and then on play, you may trash a card from your hand. And if your opponent has got 5 or more cards in hand, which is not that much, they trash 2 cards from their hand. This, it's a 6 cost, admittedly. This seems like a very, very strong character. And I know it's a super rare, and I know the super rares generally tend to be strong characters, right? But you play this in a Koala deck, and basically what we've got here is a character that counts towards Koala in terms of drawing a card, and a blocker, and you can trash a card from your hand to make your opponent trash 2 from theirs. Bearing in mind you've got the extra draw power from Koala. Yes, love it. Huge fan. Now, we've also got Kazan. Here's the alternate art of Kazan. This one's nice and easy. We've got Kazan with Garp, Master and Disciple. Job's a good un. Now, the Kazan leader, remember's got that skill whereby if you, and this is not a once per turn, this is a static whenever it happens. Whenever you trash a card from your hand, using a skill of a Navy character, you draw to replace it. That's what Kazan does, which is an absurdly good skill in terms of just drawing a huge amount of cards. So yeah, this seems a little bit good. We've got the alternate art here. We've also got a new Monkey to Garp. And I'm going to spoil this for you, right? Obviously, we've got characters here that match up with the alternate art on the alt art leaders. Had to be done now, didn't it? And what we've got from the new Monkey to Garp is 8 cost, 8,000 power, no counter. But on play, you may trash a card from your hand and then play an 8 cost or lower blue navy character other than Monkey the Garp from your hand. So basically, you pay 8 Don, you play your 8,000 power Monkey the Garp, and then you also play a second character. Can't be Monkey the Garp because you can't be chaining these, obviously. This is generally the rule. But oh my word, this is good. And then, of course, what we really want to do here is go, well, all right then. We want to get maximum value. We want to be playing 8 cost blue navy characters from our hand here. We've only actually got one. There's only one 8 cost blue navy character we've got at the moment. It is the Aramaki from OP-06, but it has got blocker and activate main once per turn. You can trash a card from your hand and place a character of a cost of 2 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck to get a 3k bump. But remember that trashing a card from your hand on Aramaki, you draw one because of Kazan. And also, you know how I just said the Monkey the Garp makes you trash a card from your hand to activate the skill? Well, you draw one to replace it with Kazan. And yeah, this seems just incredibly strong. The downside of Monkey the Garp trashing doesn't matter. The downside of Aramaki trashing doesn't matter. This is awesome. I also have to mention, I know it's not an 8 cost, but the 7 cost Borsalino from OP-05 bumps the 4 cost at the bottom of the owner's deck, has 8,000 power. This also seems like a pretty good target for playing for free, so you get Monkey the Garp and this at the same time. That seems like a win. Now, the Sanji leader I showed you previously, but here is the alternate art. Obviously, we've got Zeph coming in here, which is kind of awesome. I have previously shown you the Zeph character from this set. We don't need to talk about this anymore. We've seen it already, but we do have the alternate art here, and that is rather lovely. Similarly, the alternate art of Don Quixote Rocinante obviously has Trafalgar Law on there, and we've talked a lot about Don Quixote Rocinante being just a full-on Trafalgar Law deck, which is weird but kind of cool. And we do have a new Trafalgar Law here, but again, this is one we talked about the other day. We do have a clearer image of it now, yay! But, like I say, we talked about this the other day. We don't need to get into it. Although we did do a whole video the other day where we really just dug into Don Quixote Rocinante and how, with the new Trafalgar Law stuff, it looks really good. So go and check that one out. I will link it in the description. Now, one of the leaders we've been a bit confused about up to now is Silver's Rayleigh. And here we're kind of like the other way round. Silver's Rayleigh, absolutely not the disciple of Luffy, but of course, Luffy was the disciple of Silver's Rayleigh. That's where Luffy was during the time skip. So having Luffy and Rayleigh here, absolutely brilliant. And Rayleigh looks like a bit of a trap initially because you cannot include 5 cost or higher characters in your deck. That's a bad thing. But then we got an activate main once per turn. You may show 2 events from your hand. You only have to show them. You don't need to do anything else. And then you can take a 4,000 power or less character and give them a 2k bump for this turn. Well, the good news is we have a new Monkey D. Luffy, and it is a 4 cost character. Had to be or else it couldn't go into the Rayleigh deck. It's not a Roger Pirates card, obviously, because Luffy was never on the Roger's Pirates. It's Supernova and Straw Hat Crew. But what we've got here is, if you've got 2 or more Don on Luffy, you get a 2k bump, which essentially turns it into a vanilla 4 cost 6k counter plus 1,000. Except it's not vanilla, because we've also got a skill whereby on play, you may reveal 2 event cards from your hand, same requirement there that we've got from Rayleigh, and then you get to play a 3,000 power or less red character from your hand, and then give a rested Don to your leader. Cannot be the only one that thinks this seems pretty gosh darn good. There is a lot going on with this card. It seems awesome. Obviously themed very nicely here to the Rayleigh deck, but hey, that sounds like fun to me. You're giving Dawn and you're playing characters and just seems like fun, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. Just seems like fun. And that just leaves one leader I haven't shown you yet, the alternate art of Roanoa Zoro, which honestly you all could have guessed, it's just a pack art from OP-12. But then again, They haven't done this before, using an alternate art of a leader just as the pack art. But this is the pack art. We kind of knew what the leaders were going to look like all along. We just didn't know that we knew. And the Zoro here is very cool. We got Dawn X3, activate main once per turn. When this leader attacks a character, you activate, but then you cannot attack characters with an original cost of 7 or less for the turn. So your first attack has to be into a character, not the leader, and the second attack needs to be into a leader or an 8 cost or higher character. Either will be fine. And yes, I'm sure you're wondering, we do have a Mihawk character coming in here as well. It's a good video for super rares, this one. And what we've got is 8 cost, 8,000 power blocker. Yay. And on play, activate for Dawn. But then you're not allowed to play a character with an original cost of 7 or more for the rest of the turn. Which does kind of make sense. Essentially, the way it is, let's assume you got 10 Dawn. You play this, you've got 2 Dawn. You activate 4 to put you up to 6. This is basically saying no cheating more than that. Like, we'll let you go from 2 Dawn to 6, but you're not allowed to use any tricks to play a 7 cost or higher character. Original cost 7 higher character. Just to be perfectly clear, alright? You can have your 6 Dawn, but no playing 7 cost characters. That's going too far. Yeah, it's 4 cost 8k blocker. Now, it's weird phrasing it like that, of course, because you've got to have 8 Dawn to actually play the character, but make no mistake about it, you've got 8 Dawn, you play this character, you now have 4 active Dawn. So it's a 4 cost 8k with blocker. That is ridiculous. Kind of cool though, isn't it? Here's a big problem though. Here's a question to you guys watching. If you play the Roanoa Zoro deck, are you allowed to play the Alt Art leader if you don't play Mihawk? I don't know why you wouldn't. The card seems absolutely busted. I'm just wondering what you think about that. For now, I've shown you the alt art leaders. I've shown you some new super rares as well. I am getting very excited about OP-12. And honestly, if anyone needs me, I'm going to be in my studio cooking up deck lists for Koala, because that's all I want to play from now until the end of time. Or until the next leader I get really excited about. For now, tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.